Hey guys, it's Andy here from Biohazard Declassified. Today I'm going to show you how you can use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck on Resident Evil Survivor. I've not seen a tutorial for this online, so I thought I'd share my knowledge on how I did it. It may not be a perfect setup, but it's functional, works, and it's the closest alternative we'll have to using gun con controls in 2021. Something I feel in modern gaming is completely missing, and this is the best way I've found using it. I did a recent stream. I'll link that in the chat. Playing Resident Evil Survivor, and there was a lot of interest. So I'm going to share that knowledge with you on how I did it today. So there's a few things you're going to need if you want to play Resident Evil Survivor with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. The first thing you're going to need is DuckStation. Now, DuckStation is a PlayStation 1 emulator. I find it actually one of the best emulators to use. It's my go-to emulator. I've got the link for it in the description. Pretty easy to set up. You just need the standard BIOS and everything like that. I'd recommend watching a tutorial on DuckStation specifically. I'm not going to show you how to set it up. There's a lot of really good tutorials out there that can probably explain it a hell of a lot better than I would. So feel free to go on YouTube and find another tutorial on how to install it. But once you have it installed, next thing you're going to need is a Mayflash Dolphin Bar. So this is effectively a USB sensor bar with a built-in Bluetooth that allows your Wii Remote and Nunchuck to interact with your computer. There's a couple of different ways it does it, and it's really nice bit of kit. I actually had this anyway. I play a lot of Wii games on my computer, so it just kind of fell into my lap on this whole process. So what you want to do once you've got your Dolphin Bar, it's literally plug and play, plug it in, it'll install all of the software. There's no specific software, it just does it through Windows. And then the next thing you're going to need to do is sync this. Is the sensor bar itself has got a built-in sync button, so you literally just take your Wii Remote out, flip it out, take the flap open, and then press the sync button. So it syncs with the Dolphin. It makes the funny connecting noise in Windows, and you're pretty much good to go. What you want to do next is there's another button on top of the Dolphin Bar. You want to set it to mode 2. There's LEDs that go across the top, and it indicates, as you can see here. Let me see if we can zoom in here. You can set it to mode A, 1B, mode 1A, 1B, mode 2, 3, or 4. What you want to do is set it to mode 2, and you'll know if it works, because when you set it to mode 2, you can see that you can actually use your Wii Remote to control your computer, which I find pretty interesting actually. It's A to minimize, it's A for left click and B for right click. So once you've got all of that installed, your sensor bar's in, your Dux emulator is ready to go, you're going to need a copy of Resident Evil Survivor. I'm not going to tell you on how to procure these things, because there are means on the internet of finding it, and providing that you're using it for backup purposes, you'll be perfectly fine. I will caveat it though that you will need a copy of either the PAL release or the Japanese release of Resident Evil Survivor, because the US release does not have gun con support. It was all tied into the to a mass shooting at the time, and Capcom actually opted to withdraw it completely from the US port of the game. So it's either got to be the Japanese version, or, as I said, the EU or PAL version, which is how I actually experienced the original gun con. So once you've got DuckStation open, what you want to do is you want to go to settings, you want to go to controller settings, and you want to set your controller type to Namco GunCon. There's a little drop down list here. And what you can do is, because the controller, the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, acts as a keyboard and mouse, when you press the trigger, so if we just hover over it, click it, and when you press the trigger, it actually registers as mouse button 2. So what I've done here is I've mapped the trigger to, of course, the trigger, and then shoot off screen I've mapped to nunchuck up. So up, down, left and right is up, down, left and right on the keyboard. It's a direct translation. And then what I've done is A and B I've done to nunchuck left and right. It makes a lot of sense once you get into the game. What you can also do is add your own custom crosshair. So I found a little red cross online. As long as it's in PNG, you can change the size of the scale of it to whatever size you want it to be. It just, on the original version of Survivor, if you was playing with an original gun con, it didn't have a crosshair, so it made it quite hard to shoot. But you can actually see where your sensor, where your crosshair is on the game, which is really, really cool. But that's pretty much how you set it up. It's really easy. I'm surprised nobody's done a tutorial on this previously. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Resident Evil Survivor here. So I'm just going to load a new game. And you're going to see here already the crosshair is already working. But we'll just wait for the game to boot up here. I'm just going to skip it along. And what you're going to notice is it's going to come up with the classic Time Crisis, you know, gun con calibration. You're not necessarily going to need to do this. It's worth noting that you need to press A and B on some menus. So because the up, down, left and right is also the up, down, left and right on the nunchuck, if you kind of press right on the nunchuck and left on the D-pad, it acts as you pressing A and B together just to get past that menu. So as you can see, we're ready to go. So you can flip through the menu like so, and then we're just going to jump into a new game. And
Biohazard Gun Survivor.
Let's jump into the game here. I'll just show you briefly the controls because they can take a little while to get used to be honest. So we're gonna get into the game here. So we're in Resident Evil Survivor, and what I've done here, so the way Resident Evil Survivor works is on the original G-Con, you had, of course, your trigger here, but you had an A button here and a B button here, effectively. And the way it would work is you would use A and B, the A and B buttons to move left and right, and you would move the trigger off screen and fire, and you would move forward like that. So what the benefit of using it in this format is what we can do is where we've mapped A and B to the nunchuck and I've mapped shoot off screen to up, what you can do is you've got complete full range of motion, which actually makes it a little bit better to play than the original. It almost feels like you're playing, it feels really natural, to be honest. And yeah, you are away. You are playing Resident Evil Survivor using a Wii remote and nunchuck, and as you can see, very responsive. But we're just going to go into the first zombie room here. We're going to go up to our man here.
You look familiar, but but I just can't remember. Ark Thompson, huh? Though I can't remember anything, I know that this was no way for anyone to die. What?
So to back up, what you need to do is shoot off screen twice, or as I've found it on my control, you just press up twice and you can back away. And then all you can do, there you go. It's pretty much like playing any Wii game ever. It's very intuitive and it feels so natural. And I highly recommend. I appreciate Resident Evil Survivor isn't exactly, you know, the bastion of all Resident Evil games, but this makes this delivers a completely different experience and something very similar to the original gun con experience, and I would at least recommend you checking it out once. But yeah, that's pretty much how I played Resident Evil Survivor with a Wii remote and nunchuck. Hopefully that helps you guys out on setting it up. Definitely reckon it's worth checking out if you're a hardcore Resident Evil fan. So all the links to to everything you're going to need are going to be in the description below. If you've got any questions whatsoever, drop it in the comments section. I'll do my best to help you out. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. If you're not following Biohazard Declassified, please consider following us. We generally post a lot of video on demand content on our YouTube and do a lot of live streaming on our Facebook. Again, all in the description. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoy playing Resident Evil Survivor with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. Look after yourselves.